Okay, this skills assignment represents my interpretation of the interview featuring Peter Sobota and Mrs. Green. Mrs. Green's surgery has left her with some difficulty, physical challenges, and an inability to speak clearly. Um, in this video, Mrs. Green's going to speak clearly, but we'll assume that she's not, and that she continues to have that difficulty. We'll also assume that she's living at a senior residence and has contacted me for help. And finally, we understood the surgery to have taken place 3 years ago. So that's the background to this video. Thank you. So Mrs. Green, let's pick up where we left off. But before we do, I just wanted to say that are you comfortable?
Oh, my back really hurts. There's a pillow. If you could get that.
Oh, sure. I'll get that for you.
Oh.
There we go.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Is that better?
Oh, much better. Yeah, sometimes I can't get comfortable, and I need help with that.
Yeah, anytime. Just ask. Okay, so let's begin. Before we do, I was going to say that if I'm unclear about what you're saying, it's important for me to understand. So I'll just ask you to repeat it, if that's okay. So you'll be patient with me.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
That's good.
I appreciate that.
Okay, perfect. So you called me to come here and visit you today for a reason. I was wondering how you felt that I could help you.
Oh, I hope you can help me, David.
I'm really going to try.
Lately, I've been feeling very lonely and isolated from the other people here. I find it hard to make new friends and hard to communicate.
Mm-hmm.
It takes so long for me to speak that people aren't interested in befriending me.
Mm-hmm. Has it been like that since you arrived here 3 years ago?
Since the surgery.
Since the surgery?
Yeah.
So you've noticed?
Oh, and lately it's been harder.
Mm-hmm. Is that because it's hard for them to communicate with you?
I'm just so slow.
Yeah. Okay. With your communication. That's hard for you because prior to the surgery you were an independent, strong woman, as we established in our previous conversation. So it's a big adjustment, isn't it?
It is. I can still type very fast. So if I had a keyboard, I could communicate as fast as them.
Also, you've already been thinking of ways to overcome this barrier that you're feeling and getting, connecting with the other residents here.
Well, that's not practical.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So, what am I going to do? Hold up a paper and say, "Here, I think this and that." Well,
Okay.
It's nice to participate in a conversation, and my husband has time for me. My family has time to sit and listen. But
so they come and visit you?
yes.
What's your husband's name?
His name is George.
Okay. And George comes to see you?
Yep, 4 days a week.
4 days a
usually.
week?
We have lunch together or we have dinner together and spend time with each other.
Are those lonely times or not lonely times?
Oh, those are good times.
Those are good times.
Yeah. It's when he leaves
When he leaves.
that I feel more lonely.
Alright. So is that why you called me? Because you wanted to address ways to overcome the loneliness when you're on your own.
Yes. Yeah, it seems like it's been harder lately, and I'm not sure why that is.
Why do you think? Can
Well, maybe I'm progressed as much as I ever will, and I need to accept that this is it. I'm in this wheelchair, I'm in this care facility, and there's this big part of me that wants to be able to get back home and and be with my family again. And
So you're adjusting to your new home, but it's not like your the home that you.
that I made with my family.
Sure.
Exactly.
Okay.
You understand. That's
Okay.
good.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So you've been here for 3 years, and you've made attempts to get yourself involved in your new community here, and you've been frustrated in those attempts because of the communication barrier. Is that accurate?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And your loneliness, how do you express that feeling? Are you...
I pretty much keep it inside. Though I do find I can get on the computer and connect
Well, that's good.
with friends, so that does help. Or I can use the phone. But the phone is much harder than the computer because I can type very fast. I just can't talk very fast.
I gotcha.
So there's still a barrier due to, that person isn't there with me like when you're on the phone, right? But, that does help.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, when you're feeling lonely, are you feeling sad too?
Sometimes.
So is the loneliness extremely lonely, 10, a little bit lonely, 1?
I would say that, let's say on a Saturday night when my husband leaves, that's the loneliest time. I can only watch so much TV, and that would be about an 8.
That would be about an 8. So that's pretty lonely.
Lonely.
It's pretty...
And
how do you cope with it?
well, sometimes I cry. Sometimes I distract myself. I do play games or do Sudokus or I read a lot. Or I try to participate here. They have movie night. So I try to do stuff like that.
Okay. Can you imagine what would be the best way to feel involved here at the facility? Like in a perfect world, how would you like to be engaged here when your husband and daughter are not here?
It would be nice to have at least one close friend, who lives here, that I could do things with. Maybe someone else who's in a wheelchair too. We could tear up the halls together.
Okay, thank you.
That's good. Stop. All right.